All right, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Everything looks good. Sound seems to be working and operational, so let's get back to work, shall we? Just make sure that the stream comes through. There we go. Good. Good, good. Let's go ahead and pop this out, pop out the chats. And here we go. Let's pop out the chat. Okay. Let's go ahead and close this page down. And always on top. Here we go. Let's make this a little bit smaller so I can keep track of. There we go. All right. Here we are. Back at it. This time around, we're adding the words that or the phrases especially that we didn't have last time. So we have to follow, their own, to another, is there, put as, explorer, Alexander put it, not there, some kind of, in fact, of what is, and also what is. I think I have what is already. Of what, I'll check that as well. Published, is itself, form of, so is, even the, handout, who the, this is why, that is why, cannot be, but are rather, two sides, coin, and peter out. Okay? So we'll just keep track here, make sure that everything's running and operational. And there we go. There we go. Sound seems to be working okay, so we'll just keep track of that. Here we go. Let's get started. First phrase is to follow. To follow. To follow. Okay. And so we've made that one. That's to follow. Paste it over here. We know the drill by this point. We create the raster image in GIMP, and then we convert it into an SVG over in Inkscape, and then export it. Make sure that we have it in the correct directory. Not to folder, it's to follow. And that is .svg. We make sure that we are only exporting the file itself, and then we have the plain SVG, and that's the file. So now we just continue that process. It's probably about 30 that I have to make here, so to follow, and then the next one is there can, so there can, and another one which I probably will do now is there can be. All right, so there's there can. Go ahead and cut it, paste, apply, Control-Shift-E, and we export this. There can, okay, and we close this one down, go back over here. I think we can do there can be as well. And we grab that, so it's there can be. There can be. We cut this, we paste it. And this is the phrase there can be .svg. Close that one down. To follow their own. Hold on. Their own. Where did I get their can? Huh, interesting. Well, got it now, so not sure why their own. Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and close this down and go back over here. And we need to do to their own. Their own. Now this one is interesting. There, I think that's it. Their own. Okay, and we grab this, we paste it over here. Their own. Okay. All right, so we close this. See, we have been going for 6 minutes so far, so let's go ahead and got our timer running here. Okay. Their own to another. Okay, go ahead and grab that one. To another. Try this again. To another. Apply this. To another .svg. We close this one down. Cut this one. Next one is there. Is there. And paste this, apply. Is there. As there, maybe? As there. As there would. As there would be. That would be a good phrase. As there would be. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one. We have as is there. And then over here, let's go ahead and create a phrase. This is as there would be. So this one would be as there would be. As there would be. As there would be. As there would be. Grab that. Paste it over here. As there would be. Apply. And we paste it. This one is as there would be. .svg. Okay. Is there, as there, but as, but as, but as, apply. But as.svg. Close this without saving. Go ahead, close that one. And now what? We just keep on going with the work. So back to GIMP, close down but as, now we go to Explorer. And this is the one in the previous stream I was saying that I had thought possibly that we would just do explore like that. And then that would mean both explore and explorer. But I noticed when I was looking for the word lecturer that lecture and lecturer are two separate words, and they both end in R. And so because of the analogous word endings, we're going to do the same. So there's explore, and then there's explorer, a double R. Let me go over to the dictionary to confirm that that is correct. Hopefully you guys can see these as they're coming through. I don't think you can. Yeah, oh, okay, well that's good to know. I'm glad that I checked. We need to open the selector and grab GIMP right now. So properties for GIMP. No, not properties, we want this one. There we go. Uh-oh. And there we go. Inkscape. And there we go. So we have that one, and then also the website itself had not done it either. Well, that's no good. Open selector. Boy, I'm glad that I checked that. Not the live chat, we need... There we go. Okay, that's better. Boy. Okay, so as I was saying, when we were doing explore, then, hold on, let me check you. There we go. Okay, so as I was saying with explore, if we look up that term here, explore, that's explore right there. And so what we need to do is we need to simply add another R to that stroke, which is what we did here. So let's go ahead and undo. There we go. And that's Explorer. So we grab the whole file, or grab the whole raster image, and we paste it over here in Inkscape. We apply the mapping and to create the vector, and we paste, and then we export it. Explorer. Okay? So now we have Explorer. Wonderful. Close that down. And we just keep on working away. So that takes care of Explorer. So I can go ahead and close that. There we go. And now we need Alexander. I'll probably end up adding a lot of these names because it would be useful if someone ever wanted to look up their name and see if they're in the directory. So remember that you have access to this website in the description below. You just go to it. I think it was words lookup. In fact, let me confirm that that is the case. Let me just check over here to make sure that I sent it correctly. Let's see here. Click on it. Yes, link to the, it's called, so in the description, it's linked to the Gregg Shorthand library. And if you click on that, then it will take you to the website and you can play around with the different settings. You can go between mirrored and normal mode, exact and segment mode, light and dark, so on and so forth, okay? So we'll just put this back here. Let's get back to work. So Alexander was the name. So we're gonna do that as Alexander, like this, okay? So that is the name Alexander, like Alexander the Great. Okay, we cut this and then we paste this to create the name. Okay, so now we have our vector image. We have alexander.svg. Wait a second. I have a name for that already? Had I not even searched for it? Oh, boy, I feel dumb. When did I add that? Well, that's interesting. I've come a long way, because the ones I make are much better than that now. Hey, I'll take a small win. I will take a small win. That's so much clearer. Oh my goodness. I hadn't realized how bad my writing was before. Wow. Okay, alright. Small wins, small wins. Okay, so we have Alexander, and then we need to do put it, and remember that put it is, so put it is the same as, what was it, not point, what was it? Oh, I can't remember now. Which word is it that has PT? Oh, I'm blanking on it. I'll know it when I see it, so it's okay. So we'll go close this down, and let's go back over here to GIMP, and we're going to do put it. Okay, so we have put and it. All right, and so that's put it. We cut this, and we paste it over here in Inkscape. The old drill by this point. So we cut the value, and then we export it. Put it. Okay, and let's see here. Put it. We can then go ahead and cut this, close without saving. We then go back over here, and we go across through that name. And the next one is not there. Not there. Okay. Now this one's interesting because it's a small, just an in, and then it curves up. So it's not, I think what I have not the, but not there, you simply curve it in the opposite direction. Okay. So we cut that value, and then we paste it over here. And that is the vector. And this is not there. Okay. Cross through this one. And then we have some kind. Okay. So we need some kind. Some kind. And this was the ones where we were doing, yeah, three variants. So we have some kind. And we go ahead and, oh, redo, edit. Did I, oh, I cut the whole layer. paste the layer. That's strange. So let's go ahead and select it first. Cut it and paste. This is some kind. Apply. Some kind.svg. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Okay. And then Control Shift A. And now we need some kind of. Some kind of. So same thing, we go some. Kind of. Okay. And we paste this. Apply to turn it into a vector image. And then we export the vector image. Some kind of. Oh, why did I get the parenthesis in there? Kind of .svg. Export it. And then we close this down. Close without saving. Go back over to GIMP. And now we need kind of. Okay, we need kind of. Here we go. Kind of, okay. So we cut this value and we paste it. Open Inkscape. Oh, the whole 9 yards again. So we then export the SVG file as kind of. All right. So that's all three variants. Some kind of, and kind of. And now we need in fact. So we close this down, close without saving. Go back over here to GIMP, and we do in fact. So that's here. We go in fact. In fact, okay? So grab this, paste it here, apply. In fact, cut the document, and we go back over here, okay? Get rid of that, and then of what is our next. 3 put together, so it's of what is. Okay, that's of what is. We apply it. Okay, and we put it here. Of what is .svg. Close it down, close without saving. And then we go back over here. Now, one thing I need to check is to see if we have of what and then what is. Same thing, where we have to do all variants in order to determine. We have to do all variants in order to determine if they're in the listing. So we go to what is, and what is in there, and then of what. We have of what and then of what is. So it's all three now. All three variants, which is beautiful. And of what is, and of what. And then now we need published. So published is simply the title. If you take P published, like that. It's public, and then you add the, is it an S? Hold on. I think it's an S. Let's see here. Publish. Oh, come on. Let's try this. Publish. Yep, there we go. So you see we have, all we need is the published, and then we have pretty much all the variants of published taken care of. So let's go ahead and grab this value, we select by color, we cut the value, and we paste that value over here. Okay? And we apply, and then we grab it, and we go to publish.svg, close down the file, close without saving, go back over here, and then we come back in, we have published. So yeah, we did published. Is itself is the next one. Is itself. Is itself. Like that. Cut. Paste. Convert. Export. The old saying by this point. Gregg, and then is underscore itself dot svg. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get rid of this one. Close without saving. We go back over here. I want to create another variant, and that is as itself, which would be like more of a logic statement, but it would still be useful. So we go as itself. As itself. Okay. Grab this value, cut, and paste here. Alt-Shift-B, we apply, and export the value as itself.svg. Cut the value, we're done. Go back over to GIMP. Save it, Control-Shift-A in order to select everything. Form of is our next one. Form of. There's form of. Form of, we apply that. No, that's just form. Ah, what am I doing? We need to do form of. Control-Shift-A. We already have form. Almost got carried away there for a second. So we have to do form of. Close without saving. Paste this. Convert to a vector file. Form of, and obviously we don't need the caps lock on. Form of .svg. And I can't even spell right. There we go. Form of .svg. Okay. Close the file down. Close without saving. And go back over here. Export, or go ahead and get rid of this one on the side. So is our next one. And this one is kind of interesting because it's so is. So is. Okay. Cut this. Paste it here. Convert it. Okay. Shift E. This is so is.svg. Close it down. Go back over here to GIMP. Next set, even the. Even the. Another one I should do is even though. Even though is one actually that would probably be seen more often as far as a variant. Okay. So this is now even the .svg, and now let's go back over and do even though. So let's here in Inkscape, close this down, go back over to GIMP, save that, and this one is even though. Let's see here. Trying to remember though. Even though. So that's even though. Even though. I don't know if that is though. That really, I do not like the look of that. I really don't like the look of that. In that the end doesn't work. The end does not work. So what I need to do is I need to go ahead and take a look. Is it working? Yeah, it is. Okay. I need to look at the dictionary and take a look at that value. Because I don't think though should curve up, especially if it's attached to an N, because then it looks like an NT. So let's look at though. I mean, it does curve up. It does curve up in order to show you the difference between... No, hold on. Why would it curve up? Oh, it doesn't have to curve up by rote. It's just that... Oh, I can't think. Why would it... Oh, is it thought? Is that the reason? No, that doesn't make sense. All right. In this instance, I think I'm gonna take, since Mr. Gregg is no longer with us, I'm gonna take my prerogative, and his ghost can come back and haunt me if he wants. It would actually be his daughter, Winifred. She's the one who did all the prints. If you look at it's really neat. So it was Gregg's daughter, John Robert Gregg. His daughter did all of these anniversary edition prints. If you look at it, it was Winifred, Gregg, and then I forget her last name, but it's so neat to see that. So anyway, little factoid. So even though, I mean, I like that. I'm gonna call that one that this one should be even though. Okay? So we're gonna grab this, paste it over here in Inkscape. Okay? We're going to apply the value. And this is even though. Even though that .svg. Okay? Close the value down. Close without saving. Go back over here. Save this. Boom. Now we're set. And what are we gonna do? What's my next one? It's just still here in GIMP, I guess. And even the... We already did even though. Now we're gonna do handout. So we go up, hand, out. And we just put a dot to show the aspirate, H. The aspirate, that's where you get H. And so that's handout. Okay, I already grabbed it. We cut the value, go over here, we paste the value. feel at a certain point I just need to get one of those staples buttons where it says, that was easy. And I just cut, paste. That was easy. We have handout. Oh, and that's one word. .svg. Close it down. I try and delude myself that I'm actually getting faster, though. So, you know, that's my hope, anyway. My hope is at least that I pretend that I'm going faster. So we have who, the, and we, in the more naughty times, I guess you could fill that out with whatever variant you wanted. So we have the who, the, and then we don't want to close it yet. We want to export it. All right, and we close that down. Hey, I think we have only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 left. Yay, and then we go back to work. This is why, because we don't need is why. Is why, that is why. Oh yes, yes, this is the example where we can take the S out of the center. I remember this now. Okay, I remember this. So we need to go full page, and we're going to go this Y. Yes, there we go. Come on. This. Wow, come on. Play nice. There we go. So this is an example of this is why, where you can take the middle S out because by the context itself, you know that those two words, this Y, should have this is why in the middle. Okay, and we go ahead and apply that. We export the value. This is y.svg. Close down the file, close without saving. Go back over here. Grab this. And next value is that is y. Now, that is why is interesting because it's actually easier to do the whole 3 strokes. Here's why. That is y. See that? Whereas if you do that, it becomes more difficult if you do that y. It doesn't look as good. And I know, obviously, we're not supposed to be too concerned about aesthetics. We're not supposed to be too concerned about aesthetics when it comes to Gregg, but it still is something worth paying attention to. So this would be the better form of that is why. And notice it uses all 3. All 3 brief forms are present in the stroke. We grab the value, we apply the value, and we then export the value as that is y.svg. Okay, we close it down, close without saving, and we go back over here to GIMP, do our next value, which is cannot be. Cannot be. And this is cannot be. So as you see, none of these strokes, they don't take any, well, it's the reason why shorthand is so powerful. None of them take a lot of time in and of themselves. It's just when you're building out the overall structure, cannot be, and then also another variant where it is just both words. It's the full word itself. Cannot be. There we go. Oh, I don't want to save it. I want to get rid of it. So, as I was saying, each of the strokes doesn't take that much time at all. But what you have to do is just be willing to give it a few seconds in order to build out the overall library. So, let's go to but R, but R. We apply the value. We export the value. Now it's a .r.svg. We close it down, close without saving. Go back over here. And we now have .r rather. Alt-Shift-B, apply. And this is .r rather.svg. Okay, close it down. Almost there. 2 sides. We're on 33 strokes that we've done so far, which is really neat. 2 sides. As in 2 sides to every coin is the phrase. So we go back over here. 2 sides. Two sides. Go ahead and grab that. There we go. Shift-B. We apply the change. Close without saving. Go back over here to GIMP. Then we have coin. Coin.svg, close it down, close without saving. And we go over here. And then we have Peter out. Peter out. So Peter out. You know, Peter out. That is interesting. It actually makes more sense to do the reversed. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to do that, to do this version. So yeah, we'll keep it. Okay. We cut the value. We paste the value. Turn it in. And we export this. This is Peter out. To peter out, which means to dwindle. Okay. Okay. And that was the last one, which puts us at 35. 35 new words added. How many have I added today? At least 100? 200? I don't know. So that's all the words for right now. And now we just go back to copying. Pretty nice. Cut this value, close without saving. Control-Shift-A. Save this. We close down. Oh, I need to add the name Peter. Here we go. Now if it's just the name, then I'm going to do the backwards arc. Okay, and this is Peter. The name Peter as .svg. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and now close this, close without saving. So that was 37 words total. So I'm going to go ahead and close down both GIMP and Inkscape. Those are both clear. I'm going to go over to the terminal and I'm going to go ahead and push all these words up. There we go. And it's probably going to cause OBS to spaz out. It doesn't like it very much. There we go. Very nice. I wonder how many words I have in the the file here. ls. Let's get a file count. Hold on. I'm trying to remember what the exact command for how to get a file count in a directory Linux. What's the command? Okay. Find.maxdepth. Yep, that's the one we need. So I've got a number of files. So I'm gonna cd into media. And then I'm gonna cd into Gregg. And then I'm going to paste this code. So there are currently 19,429 individual strokes in this file, which means there are 19,429 words that you can search for. So that's pretty fun. I don't know how many I started with, but yeah, that's a lot of words. That is a lot of words. Okay, now we just get back to work. Okay. And we now can close this command down. And what are we supposed to do now? Open up Zernal and get back to work copying. Just do more copy work. So let me go ahead and find Zernal. There's Zernal. Okay. And so there's that. And then here, over here. Now we need this one. Okay. Thought out. Afterthought. So interesting. Let me check to see if these words actually were pushed in. So let's look up even the. Yep. There it is. That's the new stroke. You know what's neat is they really do look like the originals, even though. Okay. Okay, yeah, I got that all squared away. And let's go ahead and minimize this. I think we are ready. We're ready and back in business. So that was Peter. And let's see. Let's go ahead and go back over here to OBS and show the value. Make sure that everything is... I mean, that looks right. We'll try go to another part of the screen. Yeah, it's not showing it yet, so we need to make sure that we have Zernal, open selector, application window. We need Zernal. There we go. Hit OK. And then Gregg, we need to also make sure that this is selecting the correct page. And there we go. All right. Now let's get back to work. Okay. So where were we? Peters and Schaefer. So it was Peters and Schaefer. So what we need to do is make sure that this is Peters and Schaefer. So Schaefer is going to be like this. Peters and Schaefer. And what else? 2006, page 9. So that's 2006, page 9. Okay, and that's the end of that. End of that sentence. And then what's after that? If writing is the medium of research, if writing is the medium, I can't quite remember. Medium. Okay, so it's med-dim. Yep, and then it does the DM mixture. Is the medium... If writing is the medium of research and studying nothing else than research, and studying nothing less and studying nothing else than research, and studying nothing else than research. If writing is the medium of research and studying... Ooh, I missed a part. Is the medium. Is the medium of research and studying nothing else than research. I need to check else. I think it's just ls, but let's see. It is, yep. And studying nothing else than research, then there is no reason not to work. Then there is no reason not to work. Then there is, there's another word that I want to add, or another phrase that I want to add now. Then there is, then there is, okay, no reason and I'm pretty sure I just added no reason a little earlier. I did. Perfect. Then there is no reason not to work, as if, and there is no reason not to work as if nothing else. As if nothing else. Nothing else is another one that would be good. As if nothing else counts than writing. Then there is no reason not to work as if nothing else counts than writing. Can definitely tell this, I love his ideas, but there are some of Ahrens' word choices or his sentences definitely feel translated. Count. There we go. As if nothing else counts, then writing. Okay, and that's the end of the paragraph. So let's go ahead and go back up to the top, read all the way through. There's our paragraph. Okay, there we go. Switch on over. Here's our laser. The moment the author can be removed from the scene, the written piece of a public claim on truth, the written piece is a public claim on truth. That's what it is. The criteria. That's criteria. The criteria for cleansing. Cleansing? That's not cleansing. Convincing. Where did I get? Oh, that's crazy. Where did I get cleansing from? That's convincing. A convincing argument are the criteria for convincing argument are always the same, regardless of who the author is or the status of the publisher. They have to be coherent and based on facts. Truth does not belong to anyone. It is the outclaim. It is the outcome. It is the outcome of the scientific exchange of what is that? That is written ideas. This is why the partial? Is that partial? This is why the presentation and production of knowledge cannot be separated by This is why the production, but are rather two sides of the same coin. Peters and Schaefer, 2006, page 9. If writing is the medium of research and study, nothing less than research, then there is. Did I write down then there is? Yes. Then there is no reason not to work as if nothing less if nothing else counts than writing. Whew, okay, that's that. Okay. Next paragraph. Oi. Let's see here. Oh. Okay. Working as if nothing else counts than writing. So that's the next line. Working as if nothing else hold on, let's see here. As if nothing else. I think I did. Didn't I do as if? I'm pretty sure I have as if. I don't have as if. Oh. That's a really good one. Oh. As if. There's 3 more words. 3 more. Working as if nothing else counts. Oh, what happened? There we go. As if nothing else. As if nothing else counts. Working as if nothing else counts, then writing. Does not mean spending more time writing. Does that spend? Oh, okay. It's the whole thing. So we go spending does not mean spending more time writing at the expense of everything else. Does not mean spending more time writing. Do I have more time? I don't. So I'm going to write that one down. Does not mean spending more time Okay, so does not mean spending more time writing. At the expense of everything else. At the expense that's expense, maybe? Let's see if that's correct or not. At the expense. There we go. Yep, that is correct. And also I need to make sure this is on expense. Oi. Interesting how the short strokes are always made a little bit shorter. They're not given full value in this instance, which I find interesting. At the expense of everything else. Of everything else. Only if we compartmentalize, only if let's see here. Only if only if if. That would be, that's a little strange. That does look kind of strange. Only if, unless you start the F underneath. So that is one possibility if you don't let it curve over the top, but you do like this. That would work. Only if. Yeah, that one works. So let's go ahead and write that down. Only if. And then here's compartmentalize, which is the one we were able to do a little earlier today. So we can go compartmentalize. No, it curves underneath, doesn't it? Yes, compartmentalize. Oh, and that's the word. So put is the same as part. Part, PT, is the brief form for part. And so put it would be the same as part. Put it or part are the same. And I don't know if you'd ever confuse those two by having the brief form. I don't think you would. I think it actually would work pretty much anywhere. So, but now I remember, which is fun. So we have compartmentalize. Let me confirm that was the one that we chose. And that's correct. You see compartmentalize, and it does indeed curve in. So that's good. Now what? Let's see here. Only if we compartmentalize our work into into is the one that strokes up. Until is the other one. So that's into. Now let me check and see our work. That stroke is not in there, so let's go ahead and add that. Our work. Okay. Into different isolated tasks. Into different isolated. Now, isolated is interesting. So let's see. Isolated. And so we just simply add a value, right? Here we go. Isolated. Nope, we need it to be disjointed. Isolated. Into different isolated tasks. Will it seem into different isolated tasks? Will it seem different isolated tasks? Will it seem like focusing? Will it seem like focusing on writing reduces the time we spend reduces 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 the time reduces the time reduces the time. I think put time in there. The time let's see here. Up to the time, for the time being, for the time being. That is interesting. Whoa. For the time being? Are you serious? For time being. For time boom. I mean, it makes sense. That's crazy. That is crazy. But we'll do the time. Yeah, we'll add the time. Add the time to the mix. Okay. Reduces the time. Reduces the time we spend. The time we spend. The time we spend reduces the time we spend on other tasks. On other tasks. On other tasks. Is on other, does that have... On other does not have its own brief form, so we'll add that. Okay. So we have on other tasks. Reduces the time we spend. Reduces, oh, and that's reduce, so then we have to flip this back around right here. We spend on other tasks. But it does not mean, but it does not, but it does not mean to read less, to read less, but it does not mean to read less, for this is the main source of the writing material. For this is, I'll bet you, yeah, that's another one. For this is the main source. Interesting. So sources and source and so is are all the same. For this is the main source of the writing material. Of the writing material. Of the writing material. It doesn't mean to attend fewer lectures. It doesn't mean to... What is attend? It doesn't mean to attend fewer lectures. That's correct, right? Yes. It doesn't mean to attend fewer lectures or seminars. Now here's another example where we have to make the circle into a loop at the end in order to show that it's plural. So we change the circle, the backward circle of the R into a longer loop, and then it's seminars. Okay? Because they provide you with the ideas, because they provide you, what is that? I'm going to guess that this one has to be, this is a provide. I'm going to say that's provide, but we'll see. Hey, all right, that's nice. So we curve this back here. There's provide. And then what after that? Because they provide you with, because they provide you with the ideas to write about, to write about, and questions worth answering. And questions worth answering. Check out worth. That's correct. Good. And questions worth answering. Attending lectures is also one of the best ways. Attending, let's go ahead and add another page below this one, save it. So attending lectures, attending lectures is all. So is also. Is also. That works, because also is just the two hooks, and then if you add an S to the top of that, then you get is also. Is also. Yeah, let's go to add that. Now, I may already have that one. Let's check. I don't. Okay. So I need to add that one. Lots of variants of is. Lots of variants. I know I've already said that, but anyway, is also. Is also one of the best. One of the best. One of the. Whoa. That wasn't me. That's the one of theirs. That's incredible. One best. One of the best. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. One of the best. It's one of the best ways to get an idea about the, and then current. Let's see what current is. About the current state of research. About the current state of research. I'm pretty sure that's state, right? ST, yeah. State of. State of. That's another one that I should add. State of. Uh-huh. State of research. Not to mention the ability to ask and discuss questions. Not to mention. Not to mention. That's it. And that has to be longer. Not to mention. Let's add that to the listing. Not to mention. Not to mention the ability not to mention the ability is that ability? Inability, the ability, usability, stability, yeah, equability, capability. Oi. So many variants. That's so neat. The ability, that ability, that ability. Not to mention the ability to ask and discuss questions. The ability to ask and discuss questions. Focusing on writing also doesn't mean to stop giving presentations. Focusing on writing also does not mean to stop giving presentations. To stop is STP, is that stop? Don't think I've had to work with stop before. Yes, interesting. Okay, so it's stop. And that another instance of the T being shorter. Like topic. That's so fascinating. Because I don't remember the book ever mentioning that, but there it is. Also, it also, on writing, also doesn't mean to stop giving presentations or finding other ways of making your thoughts public, or finding other ways of making your thoughts, public. Where else? So let's go ahead and add that to the lineup, because I'm pretty sure that we don't have that one. So let's check it. Where else? Yeah, didn't think so. So let's go ahead and add that. We'll add that to the mix. Where else? Where else could you get feedback for your ideas? Where else could you get let's see here if we do feedback where else could you get feedback I hope that's feedback. Let me see. Feedback. And guess who added it to the mix? Yep, feedback. Okay. Time has come to charge up the mouse. Poor thing is dying. Okay, to get feedback for your ideas. For your ideas. And that's the end of the paragraph. Pretty nice. So we have what? How many have we added already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 phrases to add to the mix. Now let's go back and go back to the beginning of the paragraph. And where is that? 2000. There it is. So let's go back to the beginning of the paragraph and read through just to review the information. So let's turn this back. Let's turn the laser on. And here we go. Let's start. Working as if nothing else, as if nothing else counts, then writing does not mean spending more time writing at the expense of everything else. At the expense of everything else. Only if you compartmentalize only if we compartmentalize our work into different isolated tasks, will it seem like focusing on writing seems like focusing on writing reduces the time we spend on other tasks. But it doesn't mean to read less, for this is the main source of the writing. Of the writing material. It doesn't mean to attend fewer lectures or seminars, because they provide you with the ideas to write about and questions worth answering. Attending lectures is also one of the best ways to get an idea about the current state of research. Is that the correct way? Is that the correct way that curves for research? That's correct. Is the so correct research into the correct research into what is that? Abilities. The ability not to mention. Yep, that's it. Not to mention the ability to ask and discuss questions. Questions, yes. And then focusing on writing. Also, focusing on writing also does not mean to stop to stop giving. That's a giving, so we need to do the dot at the bottom. Stop giving presentations or finding other ways of making your thoughts public. Making your thoughts public are less. Could you less? Where else? Where else? Erless. Yes. Elsewhere. Where else? Do I have where else? Yes. Where else could you get? Where else could you get feedback for your ideas? Okay. Very nice. Okay. So we'll continue. Focusing on writing. Oh, oh. Straighten out the back. Okay. Focusing on writing. Next paragraph. Here we go. Focusing on writing. Focusing on writing as if nothing else counts. As if nothing else counts. As if nothing else counts does not necessarily mean. Does not necessarily. Okay, this is the one that's a little interesting. We curve. That's not necessarily. What is necessarily? It curves back in on itself. That's what it is, yeah. So that's how you tell the difference, because it's a double S. So like that, necessarily. Does not necessarily mean you should do everything else. Does not necessarily mean you should so we go maybe this curves like that. So it curves up and then down, yeah. You should does not necessarily mean. Focusing on writing as if nothing else counts does not necessarily mean you should do everything. Oh, let's see. Everything else less. Everything else less well. Less well. But it certainly makes you do everything else differently. But it certainly makes you do everything else differently. I think differently just it puts an E at the end. So let's check that out. Yep. Just put a little E at the end. Certainly makes you do everything else differently. And that's 2 lines underneath because that is a colon, or that's a italicized. Having a clear, tangible purpose. Having a clear and then tangible oh, interesting. Yeah, that's the one where I had to derive it. So it's intangible. Having a tangible a clear, tangible purpose PRP. Having a clear, tangible purpose when you attend a lecture. When you attend yeah, I don't have enough room for, well, maybe, nope, runs out of room. So let's just move on down. When you attend a lecture, having a clear, tangible purpose when you attend a lecture. Discussion or seminar. Having a clear or seminar will make you more engaged and sharpen your focus. Will make you more engaged in this is interesting. Does it curve underneath? So we go in engaged. Let's see. In gay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is just in gay. Make you more engaged and sharpen your focus. And sharpen your Oi, let's see, sharpen. So that would flip it around the other way. Flip it away from the line of writing. Would that do it? Let's see what sharpen is. Okay, so they want the whole thing. You can't do a... Sharpen. Sharpen. And sharpen your focus. You will not waste your time. You will not waste with waste, because that is ways, but let's see if they want waste as well, if they need the T at the end. And they do. So in this instance, I think it is to help differentiate it from ways. So there's waste. You will not waste your time with the attempt to figure out. With the attempt. With the attempt, yep, with the attempt. With the attempt to figure out. To figure out. And figure out. To figure out. Oh, they want the whole thing. They want the whole thing. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and put this here so we... There we go. To figure out. So we do the to figure out. There it is. To figure out. To figure out. To figure out. That's pretty clear. Sometimes you just have to look at the phonetic quality of it, right? To figure out. And that's a phrase that you hear a lot, right? To figure out. Okay. What you should learn. What you should. What you should. What you should learn. Rather, you will try to learn as efficiently as possible. Let's look up efficiently. efficient, and I think I'm going to add efficiently to the lineup so that someone would be able to just search for it. And then you add it to the end. So there's efficiently. Okay. As efficiently as possible. As possible. Yep, as possible. So let's go ahead and add that to the lineup as well. As efficiently as possible. So you can quickly get to the point. So you can quickly. So you can quickly get to the point. To the point. You can quickly. Yep, quickly get to the, and then let's see here, point. Oh, hold on. Oint. Oint. It does the other way. Okay, okay. So let's go ahead and flip this around. To the oint. There it is. So let's go ahead and as possible, let's do to the point. To the point. Get to the point so that you, rather you will try to learn as efficiently as possible so you can quickly get to the point where actual open, where actual pen, where actual open. No, that's not right. What's open? Okay, that's interesting. So a pawn is pawn. Open, open. Because you put more of the emphasis on the beginning, so. We're actual open. And let me check, make sure that that is actual. Yep, there's actual. Good. That actual open. Rather, you will try to learn as efficiently as possible so you can get to the point where actual open questions, where actual open questions arise. As they are the only questions worth writing about. As they are the or are the, as they, so let's go ahead and add that to the list. Are the, as they, and then are the. Same thing. Need to add are the. As they, are the, as they are the only questions. Only questions worth writing about. You quickly learn to distinguish. You quickly learn to distinguish. Wow, that's really nice. You quickly learn to distinguish good sounding arguments. You quickly learn to distinguish good sounding arguments. That sounding, let's see what sound is. That's right. Good sounding. You quickly learn to distinguish good sounding arguments from actual good ones. From actual good ones. As you will have to think them through, as you will have to think them through. As you will have to think them through whenever you try whenever you try to write them down, whenever you try to write them down and connect them with your previous knowledge. And connect them with your previous with your previous knowledge. There we go. Okay, so that's page 35. That's not bad. So we've done, yeah, slowly working through, slowly. Okay. So let's go back to where was that? Where is the last paragraph marking? There it is. Let's go ahead, zoom in, and let's take a look. So, got the mouse, and let's go ahead and do the pointer. Here we go. Focusing on writing as if nothing else counts does not necessarily, that's right, does not necessarily mean you should do everything else less well, but it what is that? But it stencils? No. But it certainly. That's certainly. Aha. Certainly. Stenny. But it certainly makes you do everything less or everything else differently. Having a greater what is that? That's a B. Having a greater tangible present, having a clear, yeah, that's clear. Having a clear, tangible purpose when you attend a lecture, discussion, or seminar will make you more engaged and sharpen your focus. You will not waste your time with the attempt to figure out what you should see, this should be a little clearer. What you should learn. What you should learn. Rather, you will try to learn as if you shall try to learn as effortlessly as possible. That's effortlessly, isn't it? As efficiently as possible, so you can quickly get to the point where you can tell, to the point where actual open questions arise, as they are the only questions worth writing about. You quickly learn You quickly learn to distinguish good sounding arguments from actual. Okay, this, yeah, I've got to be careful with the actual, because I have to be careful with that actual, because the double, it almost looks like a G. Oh, this is exciting though, being able to almost read this. Oh, wow. What a thrill. So terribly nerdy, but man. Hey, you know, I could be like learning Klingon or something and being an absolute nerd. At least with this, I'm trying to learn something that might possibly be useful for me. So let's see, we were on actual, from actual good ones. Let's see here. From actual good ones. And then what's that? As you... No, that's not as you will. What is that? As you will? That's not as you will, is it? Oh, it is. That's as you will. As you will find, as you will have to think. As you will. Did I write that down? Please tell me I wrote that down. You mean I put that in there and I didn't even... Nathan! You jerk. Alright. As you will. Alright. As you will have to think them through when... no, that's not when. That is, whenever. Is that whenever? I think that's whenever. You will have to think them through whenever. Yeah, that's whenever. Let me check that in the dictionary. Whenever. Hey! Oh! Boy, I'm feeling... It's not getting to that crazy point where it's like it's starting to make sense, but, you know, it's like a bubble. You know, you blow the bubble and it's floating, you reach out to touch it and suddenly it pops. Man. Yeah, it's exciting though. Getting close, getting close. Alright, whenever you what is that? You try to write them down and connect them with your previous knowledge. Whoa. I only had to look up one word there. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Okay. Little win. Yay. All right. Let's keep on going. Next one. All right, knowledge. It will change the way you read as well. It will change the way you read as well. It will change the way. I have the way, don't I? The way. The way. Yes. Good, good, good. Okay. Excellent. It will change the way you read as well. I hope I have as well. Please tell me I have as well. I don't want to have to write any more down. I don't want to play anymore. As well as. I thought I added as well, but I guess I didn't. Okay, as well. Okay, as well. It will change the way you read as well. You will become more focused. So let's try this. It's you will become, so you will, I don't have enough room, so I got to do it on the next line down. So that's the end of page number 3, right? And did I write the number up here? I did. So now let's move down, fill out page 4. Page 4, backwards again. Is that right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Boy, it's a funny thing. Doing the mirrored numbers themselves, that's actually one of the biggest brain hurdles, if you will, because like now I can't, okay, that's normal. That's the normal direction. So I actually need to do it opposite that, right? Is that correct? Which way is this supposed to go? Because that's 4. That's normal. So the abnormal would be that, correct? Am I going crazy? Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe you're actually seeing my brain beginning to melt. I don't know. I don't know. But this is page 4, and we're going on. Whatever. Yes, okay, good. Yeah, I have a page number right here. Oh, you probably can't see that, but there's a 4, so I can use that as a reference. So the little angle in normal writing, then the angle, or the angle is on the left side. So when you flip it, the angle's on the right side. Is that what I did? Yes, all right. I am tired, boss. I'm tired. Okay, let's go. Let's keep on going. One day I'll be a real boy. Okay. Let's see. Certainly makes you do everything differently. What is that? It will change the way you read as well. You will become more focused. So let's see here. You will become. You will become more focused. Focused on the relevant. Is that, I think that is, hold on, let me see if I can write it out. So it's R. I think it's RL. I think you have to do RL, V, and then NT. Let's see if that's correct. That's correct. So the only thing I missed was the E. The only thing I missed was the E here. There we go. Relevant. Okay. Whew. The relevant. You will become more focused on the most relevant aspects. Oh, and I forgot most, so I need to add that. On the most relevant aspects. So let's see, that one should be there's aspects. I think it is just PKT. Let's see if that's right. Oh, so not even a T. It's just ASPK. Okay. ASP, the relevant aspects. Oh, okay. Relevant aspects, knowing that you cannot write everything. You will become more focused on the most relevant aspects, knowing that you cannot write down everything. Knowing that you cannot write down everything. Write down is a phrase I do want to add as well. I might have it already, didn't I? I think I did write it down, correct? Write down. Oh, I did. I did add that as a variant. Good, good. All right, so yay. Yay for me. I'm thinking ahead. So write down, knowing that you cannot write down everything. Okay, and there's everything. Hoi. You will read in a more engaged way. So let's see. You will read in a more engaged. Oh yeah, that's the one. We've already done that one. Engaged way. You will read in a more engaged way because you cannot rephrase anything. Because you cannot read you cannot read anything. Is that anything? Because you cannot rephrase. Because you cannot rephrase. That's it. It's not read, it's rephrase. Rephrase. I'm going to say that it's this. It's rephrase. Now let me check the book and make sure. Check the dictionary to see if that's correct. Yay! Yay! Good. All right, so there's rephrase. Because you cannot rephrase anything in your own words, in your own words. That's words, right? Oh, that's one of those. It's like wood. So I'm pretty sure it has to be. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, man. I don't know what it is. It's like my brain's waking up or something. That's what it feels like. It feels like my brain's just beginning to sparkle or something. I don't know. I guess that's the way it is it's almost like riding a bike. You know that certain point where suddenly it begins to make sense? That's what this feels like. In your own words. Okay? If you don't understand what it is about. If you don't understand what if you don't understand what it is, so that's what it is. If you don't understand what it is about. If you don't understand what it is about. Okay, so there's about what it is. Do I want to include that? Own words, what it is. I think I want to include what it is. Let me check and see if it's. I might already have it. I don't. What it was, what it is. That's interesting. Both of those are really good, so I'm going to write them down. What it is and what it was. Both variants are really good. So, what it is about. Okay. And there we go. So what is it? Where are we? By doing this, you will, what it is about. By doing this, you will elaborate on the meaning. So, by doing this, you will elaborate on the meaning. By doing this, you will, and And then what is elaborate? Elaborate. It might just be elaborate, but I don't want to take a chance with that. That's one I haven't seen that often. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Elab. Look at that. I would have messed it up completely. There we go. Elaborate. Very nice. Very nice. That's a fun word. You will elaborate on the meaning. On the meaning, which will make it much more likely. You will elaborate on the meaning. Which will. That's a good one. And it's not in the lineup, so I'm going to add that one. Which will. You know what's going through my mind at this moment? I remember when I was much younger, probably like 14 or younger than that, and I was practicing writing for the first time, really, like trying to develop my own ideas. And I would have this connection with certain words like which will, which are, and there was something like the sound of them that was just so fascinating to me. And that's what I'm getting with this. It's as if, because I can do them shorter, I'm thinking of the actual like sound of the language more. Just, I don't know. Hard to put it into words, but it's really fascinating. By doing this, you will elaborate on the meaning, which will make it much more, which will make it much more, make it, do I have make it? Because make it would be a good one. Make it, I don't. Make it, add another one to the lineup. What is that, like number 30 on this list so far? Let's see. It's crazy. What are we at so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yay for me. 25 more words. I think that makes, I think I've added probably almost 100 today? I don't know. Like I said, hopefully someone else finds it useful. But at least for me, I know that I've locked them away. As Sonke says, as soon as you write something, it's no longer you. It's become an object of public truth. So now everybody has to contend with that particular stroke in Gregg's shorthand. So, there. I've made my mark in the world. Literally my mark in the world. My graffiti here. Alright, by doing this, you will elaborate on the meaning, which will make it much more likely. So here we go. Let's do likely. Will make it much more likely that you will remember it. That you will, and then remember is just that. I think you have to do the R-E at the beginning. Pretty sure that's remember. Well, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see if that is correctamundo. Come on. Remember. Yay! Yay! Hey, look at that now. Well, I'm smart. I'm so smart. Okay, so we've done remember. Now what? You will remember it. Okay, remember it. Let's go ahead and make that 2 strokes. Remember it. Nah. No, we'll keep those separate because remember is already such a complex one. You also have to think about the things you read. You also have to think. Oh, here's another one. I remember this. Think about. Yeah. Boy, that's going to take a little bit of time getting used to. There we go. Oh, that's cute. So you kind of make like a little curve. That works. That works. I like that. Let's see here. What was I doing? By doing this, you will elaborate on the meaning, which will make it much more likely that you remember it. You also have to think. Oh, think beyond. Think beyond the things you read. Let's take a look at beyond. I don't know if I've ever done that. Think beyond. That still works. Yeah, because that's think about, so think beyond. Think beyond still works, I think. All puns intended. Hey, at this point, I should be allowed to have a few puns, right? There we go. Yeah, but it's alright. I mean, if we do them disjointed, it's not, once again, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we're already doing so much better. This is already so much better than just orthographic writing that it's mind-boggling. Here I am agonizing over whether to add phrases or not. Now that's how you know that I'm way too nerdy. Because if I'm agonizing about whether I should add phrases, yeah, I've got a problem. I've got a problem. Okay, so here we go. Think beyond. By doing this, you will elaborate. You also have to think beyond the things you read. You have to think beyond the things. The things. Did I add the things? Yes, excellent. I have added the things. You will think beyond the things. Where's that? You will also think beyond the things you read. You will think beyond the things you read because you need to turn it, comma, because you need to turn it, turn it into something new. Something new. New. There we go. And by doing everything with the clear purpose, and, oh, there's one we can do, and by. And by. Yeah, that's right. We kind of make a smaller ND. And by doing everything, and by doing everything, with clear purpose, with the clear purpose, with the, oh, and that's, so with the, remember I can do those two together. With the clear purpose of writing about it, of writing about it, you will do what you do deliberately. You will do what you do deliberately. Now there's one I haven't seen, I don't think. Kind of like elaborate. Deliberate. Del. Interesting, okay. Deliberately. Yeah, nice. Deliberately. And by doing everything with the clear purpose of writing about it, you will do what you do deliberately. Yeah, okay. What you. Wasn't I going to add what you... Let me check your... Where else? Which make it as you will, as well. Make it what was you will. What you. Let's check. Oh, okay. All right. Well, add what you. More fun. What you? How you? How now you? Brown cow. Okay. Then there is... Alright, so that is the end of the next paragraph, and that's also the end of a page. Hey. Did I think I copied a page and... Hey, look at me. I copied a page in an hour. Yay for me. Alright, but let's see. Let's go ahead and reread the paragraph. Where does it start? At the very beginning. A very good place to start. Always a good place to start there. Where is that? Where are you at? I think we're too far, right? Where'd you go? I'm looking for you, Mr. Arrow. Mr. Paragraph Starter. Mr. Paragraph Starter, where are you? Where is it? Was it earlier? Can I not see it? Okay, there's a paragraph. That's focusing. Okay. That was a little shorter, so we're looking for knowledge. Knowledge is the end. There it is. Duh. Okay. Yeah, that's why I couldn't see it, because I forgot to write it. Ah! Ah! Come on. All right. Let's put you here. Boom. Boom. Oh, come on. There we go. Hey, I made an arrow. Like fire, like Tom Hanks. Fire, fire, I've made fire. I've made an arrow. I've made a new paragraph. Okay, let's try this. Here we go. Little pointer. And we go through, so it will change the way you read as well. As you will. As well. And that should be a little bigger so it doesn't look like bird poop. There we go. Well, it's already chicken scratch, so if we have bird poop on the page along with chicken scratch, hey, we're doing pretty well. It's a full-on barnyard at this point. Okay, so now we go forward. You will become more... Yeah, here we go. You will become more focused on the most relevant aspects. Most relevant aspects. Anything? Nope. I don't think that's right. Anything that? Is that anything? If so, then I should have closed this off, made more of a circle. I think, yeah. Let's try this. So, anything. Anything? No, oh, wait, that's nothing. That's no thing. Nothing that you cannot. Yeah, that should be that's no. Nothing. There we go. Nothing that you cannot, write down. Wait, is that right? That doesn't sound right. On the most relevant aspects, knowing. Knowing. Okay, what is nothing? I gotta know the difference between these. What is nothing? Oh, okay, yeah. It's just a line. It's just a line. Okay, so knowing, unknowing. All right, I need to add knowing to the list. Can you imagine? I'm sitting here like, what is that? Is that anything? Is that knowing? Is that nothing? Is it like my brain? It's nothing. Okay. Knowing. Thank you very much. There we go. Knowing. Okay. Knowing that you cannot write down everything, you will read, you will read not, you will read in a, you will read in a more, what is that? Narrow? No, that's not narrow. That's, in a more, N-L-A, now, you will read in a more, engaged. That's not an L, that's a G. That's a G. Okay, let's make that just a little bit more, in a more engaged way. In a more engaged way. Because you cannot rephrase anything in your own words if you do not understand what it is about. But doing this, by doing this, you will elaborate. You will elaborate on the meaning. Yes, on the meaning, which will make it much more likely that you will remember it. That's true. You also have to, I don't like that have to. I want to make the T just a little longer. Also have to think, you will also have to think beyond, oh yeah, that's beyond. You also have to think beyond the things you read. You also have to think beyond the things you read. Yeah, think beyond the things you read, because you need to turn it into something new. Yes, new. And by doing everything with the clear, with the clear, what is that? Oh, my brain, hold on, what is it? It's purpose. With the clear purpose, PRPS? Is that PRPS for purpose? Yeah. Oh, wait, there's no S. With the clear purpose, is it purposes? Nope. Good, I can get rid of the other one. With the clear purpose. Purpose. PRP. With the clear purpose of writing. I forgot the dot. With the clear purpose of writing about it, you will do what you do deliberately. Wow. Oh, man. You know, boy, this is exciting. This is so exciting to get to this point. And, you know, these words, they're not the easiest in some way. In some way, it's almost like you're learning how to speak a language, or you're learning a language by studying more technical speech. Like, you know, imagine learning Spanish and you're learning it using a math textbook or something. Because that's what this is. I mean, these words, you wouldn't see them normally. I mean, I love it. I really do. Whoa. Okay. Well, I've got about 60 minutes left before I take a break for dinner, and then I'll do another set, probably work until about 10 tonight. So, that will give me, hey, that'll give me 12 hours today, which is great. I'd love to have that, because I know that I won't have as much time, especially when, when my other obligations kind of pick up later in the season. So if I can really hammer this hot, heavy, and just get it done, get it out of the way, it will come in useful when I start up classes here shortly and be able to just put these principles into practice. Because, these three, really what it is. The third one I haven't really had a chance to work on stream yet, is mnemonics. Hopefully I'll be able to get that into play here pretty soon. But the two things, I am working on two aspects of, like, I think of it as almost like a three-strand chord, where you have your ability to write quickly and efficiently, which is the shorthand, but it can also just be just clean handwriting as well. But clear handwriting combined with learning about the note-taking system, the slipbox method for efficiency of ideas, and then that combined with mnemonics. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. This is definitely working the brain to remember these levels. But anyway, let's. I'm going to go ahead and close down Zernal for right now, and I need to go ahead and open up the Gregg strokes. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to leave up the OBS for the moment, and I'm going to open up GIMP and Inkscape, and I've got only, what's like 30? Is it 30 that I need to add? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Hey, not bad. 27. Could be worse. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And then there is. That's the phrase that I need to add. Okay. So let me go ahead and make sure that I have OBS set up so you guys can see that. Let's go making Gregg strokes, and let's see here. We need Inkscape. Open selector, switch on over to Inkscape. There we go. Share. Sharing is caring. And then on GIMP, same thing. Need to go ahead and set that. Application windows. And that's GIMP right here. Share. Good. And then also, let's go ahead and make sure that the Gregg window is opened. Application window. Properties for Gregg, and that is Gregg shorthand lookup, and we share that. Okay. Yay. Okay. I'm probably getting to the punchy stage where I don't care, it's just funny. So we're gonna go, then there is. Then there is. Then there is. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that should work. And we paste it here. Oh, I must have accidentally. Oh, I cut it and paste it over here. Hopefully you guys can see that, right? Yeah, good. All right, so let's go back to Inkscape, and now you know the drill. I mean, I started out the stream with this, so we've come full circle. We're coming full circle, man. And we go here, copy our commands, we drop this in here, and then there is .svg, and we switch it over to plain SVG, and export selected only. Boom. Done. All right, it's first one done, and we go ahead and get rid of that one, close without saving, and Control-Shift-A to select everything, cross through that old name, take it off the list. Then there, Then there, I can't think of any time when I would use just then there. I really can't. So I'm not going to. And then there's nothing else. Now nothing else is interesting because it's the dot. What you have to do is you take... There we go. So you do the whole stroke and then you go back and then you go back and put the dot in. So your pen would have to go back a little bit further, but you've saved yourself one stroke. So, oh, what'd I do? Undo. Control Shift V. I don't want edge detection. I want auto trace. I think it's just auto trace, right? No? Is it brightness cutoff? Yeah, I think it's just brightness cutoff. That's interesting. I had set up another level, so that one was nothing less. Or no, this is nothing else. Nothing else. Yes, very nice. Export. Now, nothing else. Do I have nothing less? Let me check. I don't have nothing less. Nonetheless, little or nothing. So I might as well do nothing less. Yeah, why not? I'm sure I'll be using it. So nothing less. There we go. Copy. No, cut. Cut. Cut and cut. And then we cut this. And we paste. Paste. All right. Apply. And we paste. No, we don't paste. We say nothing less. Nothing less. I don't write paste. I write nothing less. Okay. All right. Hey, 9 minutes. 9 minutes. And then we're done. Okay. Here we go. Close this down. Close without saving. Okay. Back at it. This had better pay off because otherwise I'm just going to go crazy and it's going to be very funny and it will be completely unproductive. Okay. So let's try as if. All right, come on. There we go. Cut and paste as if. Alt-Shift B. We apply the change. Oh, and we can't do enter. Have to use the mouse. And we do Control-Shift E. And does Control-L... No, Control-L does not change the name. I don't think there are any shortcuts for entering the dialog box. So as if.svg, we can go ahead and get rid of that one. More time. That's what all of us need, right? More time. Keeping time in a sort of runic rhyme. So the tintinnabulation that so musically wells from the bells, bells, bells. Edgar Allan Poe. Alright, so there's more time. More time. We cut. And we paste. There we go. We apply. And more time. .svg. Close without saving. Go back over here. Reset the selection. Cross through that one. I do think I am getting faster at making them, which is nice. Only if. I feel like I'm on a production line. Only if. Oh, only if is a tricky one, yeah. That's the one where it curves. I'll add it. I don't have my heart set on it. Only if. I mean, to be honest, I don't have my heart set on any of these. If any of the phrases turned out to be just complete hogwash, I don't need them. It's just a matter of making it easy, you know? And this one is only if. And also it's a way of like paying homage to Gregg's system, because maybe he himself was just part of the tradition of stenography, but it seems like the real essence is phraseology. Getting language down to phrasing. Our work. Similar like in music, where you don't really focus on the notes, you focus on chords and structures, and you're able to accomplish much more. It could be that that's what shorthand is trying to accomplish. Our work. There we go. We copy. No, we cut. We don't copy. We cut. And then we paste. There we go. Alt-Shift-B. We apply. And then we... did I already... I don't know if I did. Could be. Control-Shift-E. And this is... our work. Not our word. It's our work. Alright. Cut this one. Close without saving. Yeah, we've done 8 so far. The time. Here we go. The time. Cut. And paste. Alt-Shift-B. Apply. And we... The time. Does anyone have the time? Here we go. On other. On other. That's an interesting one. So that's on other. Ooh. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so I think it should be like that. Yeah. There we go. On other. We cut. And we paste. We close without saving. On other. Alt-Shift-B. We apply. And then we export. On other.svg. Close without saving. For this is, that's the next one. For this is. For this is. For this is. Okay. We cut. And then we paste. There we go. Apply. All right. And then we export. For this is. All right. And we go ahead and get rid of this one. Close without saving. Go back over to GIMP. I mean, at this point, I am just a parrot. I'm just saying it all is... So our next one is also. Here's the next one. So this is also. Which is interesting because that's also sources with an O at the end. So once again, it's all about the context. It's all about the context. And we apply. There we go. And this one is also.svg. We cut the value, we close without saving, we go back over here, we start it all over again. We go to state of. A state of disarray, that's what it is. State of. Okay. And we go back over here, we drop this in here, we do all the things, we do the doobly-doo. And state of emergency. Okay, close without saving. And we go back over here. Get rid of this one, state of not to mention. Not to mention. Here we go. Not to mention. There we go. Yeah, it looks good enough. It's got enough length on it. And we paste this. We Alt-Shift B. We apply. Go back up here. We export. Not to mention.svg. Oh, and I've got 50 seconds left. Oh. Alright, well, I'll be able to finish up the last ones when I get back, because do want to go get some dinner, and then I'll be ready to continue trudging along. Trudge. Okay. What now? I think I'm going to call it there. So that was what? How many did I do in 9 minutes? I did 14. Okay. No, it's not too bad. Which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to do when I get back. So, I'll be back in about 40 minutes to an hour, and we'll just do the next state. Because it's 6:30. Yeah, I'll probably be back about 7:15 and then just finish out the rest of the evening working on this. So, alright. Well, we'll call it there. It was... Oh, boy. Okay, so I can leave this up. I can leave this up. Leave up all my documents. I'll just simply end the stream and then be back. Okay. Where is that? I need to probably just do it over here at OBS. Alrighty. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.